And when they've got that trust, when Johnny says you need 6 sessions or you need 9, and can I propose a pair of orthotics, they are more likely to say yes, confidently. Because the only reason that they don't buy is they're confident in it. So your job as admin is to create that confidence. The confidence in what you say, like I've said for everybody, and it's the same for you as I start to work with you. I don't care if you don't know the answer. What I care is that you confidently tell them that you don't know the answer. And that's contrary to what the rest of the world does and teaches, and will try to have you believe is the right way, but it just is the right way. Know what you don't know. It's like the phrase I always say. So if somebody rings you up and says, can I book in for lymphedema? Hey, do you know what? I don't know, but thanks for asking it. I'm going to find out for you. I'm brand new. I've just started this week. I've never been asked that question before, but what I'm going to do is make sure I get you the right answer. Is there an appropriate time to call you back later today? Because it'll give me time to speak to a physio, and I'll come back to you with a 100% validated, justified, confident answer of whether or not we can serve you with those needs. And what that does to that person is that makes them think, okay, the next question that I ask at Paul Gough Physio Rooms will be answered properly. And if that answer comes out of somebody's mouth, it's the right answer, because I know that if they don't know the answer, they tell me. So when I start to ask the physio a question and he starts to give me an answer, I'm starting to believe that answer. Why? Because the first interaction and the first experience that I had with Paul Gough Physio Rooms was honest, was upfront, was brutally confident, was not trying to get my business, was not trying to book me in at all costs, was willing to take a risk on losing me as a patient for the sake of doing the right thing. And that's always what it's about. When you see people blagging and you see people going, well, why don't you just book in and we'll have a go and we'll see how we get on. Okay, you're going to get some business and you're going to do okay, but you're not going to do spectacularly well. That person who if you get a call this week and says, do you do X or do you know Y? Do you know what? The great news is I don't, but I'm going to find out for you. And I've just started, and if you bear with me, thanks for asking it. You've really helped me, kind of find answers to questions that I don't know so that I can serve other people better. And I'll come back to you with a great answer in the next hour. Whatever that answer is, whether it's yes or no, it will be the right answer, and you can make a better decision as a patient. How does that sound? And as a patient, that's what you'd say. How does that sound? Sounds great. What you mean is actually an honest, decent, upfront company that's going to tell me that they don't know the answer to something, but are going to do their best and their due diligence to find out the answer to it, even if it means that they might lose my business. Yeah. It's pretty novel for 2016, but it's the way to do it. That's the important thing to understand. That's not just to do that because I want you to do that. That's to do that because then when they arrive in an evaluation and Johnny or Sammy or whoever starts to say, have you got any questions and here's what we're going to do for you, they have that trust in the answer that they're going to get from us. And when they've got that trust, when Johnny says you need 6 sessions or you need 9 and can I propose a pair of orthotics, they are more likely to say yes, confidently. Because the only reason that they don't buy is they're confident in it. So your job as admin is to create that confidence at the beginning. Not to answer the phone, not to book email or reply to emails, not to make cups of coffee and whatever, is a much, much deeper, more internal level that what you really need to do. Because on the external level, you can answer questions and it looks like you've done your job, Mary's booked in for an appointment. But what if Mary then drops off after one session because she doesn't quite feel it, or because we give her an answer that wasn't right, or wasn't the answer that she was looking for? But there was something in it and she went, yeah, okay, I'll turn up for one session, and then had one session and dropped off. We've lost that. We've lost that patient because we lost the trust at the beginning. So there's never an excuse to worry about not knowing answers to questions. When you get asked a question, I've had this with so many new employees where they go on to a, what if I don't know the answer? And what if I get caught out? And what if somebody asks me a question that I don't know the answer to? It exposes massive insecurities, but complete, like ridiculous, like way of thinking that is, to be honest, it's actually selfish if you think about it. If you think about that, all you're worried about is how you feel if somebody asks you a question, that you might get it wrong, that you might feel awkward, that you might feel uncomfortable, that you might be left to look silly. It's selfish as hell. So when you turn that thing around and you say, hey, you know what? My goal and my intention today is to serve you in my bestest possible way. And if I have blanks or gaps in my knowledge right now, that's cool. I will do my utmost to find out the answers for you. But my intent is to serve. And if you don't like the fact that I don't know the answer, and even though I'm honest and I'm integral and I'm pure and I'm 100% upfront with you, there's the door. Don't come into my world. And literally, that's the way you need to live your life. Whether it's on a front desk, whether it's dealing with people in the world, whether it's dealing with people on the phone, whether it's dealing with family, friends, whoever. If they don't accept that, more fool them. So there's never any real reason to ever feel that like horrible thing that we all have in a stomach when we might be asked a question that we don't know answers to. So what? If you turn it into a positive, it's actually an opportunity to learn something. And you could even turn around and say, you know what? Thank you for asking me that question. I didn't know the answer to it, but I do now. And I'm going to go home tonight as a more educated, as a better service provider, more confident, because if I get the question asked again tomorrow, I'm better able to answer it for the next person. You know what I'm going to do today for you, Mary? Don't tell anyone, but ta-da! Harry's favourite saying right now, it's hilarious. Ta-da! Everything he does. I think the book could be a good ally for you to cement that relationship and surprise and delight, wow, over-deliver. You know that that's going to get... A book is more likely to get passed on and read and have a physical impact than an email with a free report in it. And again, it is what makes us uniquely different. That's why I spent a year of my life writing it, so that we could become... like, it gives us that competitive advantage. Yeah. So what other scenarios do you think we could use that in?
What about if somebody's like not ready? Like not ready to, when people come in, you send them the free report, you put them in capture lead, and then it goes to follow up. What about them people that are not ready yet?
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, it could be somebody who's made the commitment, like a free taster.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I'm just still a bit tentative, not quite sure. Okay, we're going to book the free taster, and here's what else I'm going to give you. Yeah. Like they've started the commitment. So what we're doing all the time is your role is to look for, as a like front desk operative, whatever. You're looking for the signs that this person is the type of person that we want to do business with, okay? Yeah. And they're not rude, they're not ignorant, they're not disrespectful. And you've got to start to use your intuition, your like gut in that scenario, or your gut feeling of, this person is genuinely wanting to do this, but I can just see something. Or he's actually on his way to us, right? He's on his way and he's moving and he's heading in the right direction. I wonder if there's just something I can do to like just speed it up a little.
Yeah.
And when Mary walks in off the street and books a free taster and you're having a chat with her and she's like, oh, you know, I just didn't know what to do and I've been a little bit, so I've seen the board and the free discovery sounds great and I think I'll take that. Okay, take all the details at the end, go, do you know what? I'm about to make your day. Thanks, we can't wait to see you on Wednesday, but I'm going to give you this as well. Have a read before you come in. Give it to your husband, do whatever. And again, that is just such a, like, bang. We've cemented a relationship with that person who arrived very tentative and scared and nervous and not quite sure, and we've helped her and we've settled her, and then right at the end we've just given her an amazing gesture. And again, it's that real-time impact is good. Or you could even do it in a post the next day. But I think sometimes, again, use your intuition of, if the lady was a little bit, you know, not quite comfortable, or it was like, oh, okay, it's like, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to do, take this with you today as well. Sometimes you could show up the next day and two days later say, hey, you know, we're looking forward to see you next Wednesday, here's a book, I wanted to send it to you. We didn't have any in stock at the time, selling out all the time, we've got some in, let's have this for you on Wednesday. And get back into that mindset of, again, like picking out a customer, what are you going to do for them, what are you going to do to help them, surprise them, delight them, wow them. Sometimes those types of things can get lost. That might be a little bit of a focus to have for the next couple of weeks. What can we do to pick out customers that we can do something for that they just weren't expecting? It's got to be sincere and it's got to be right. The timing will be everything. If you just launch the book at them, you'll you know,
you'll lose the impact of it, right?
Devalue what you're trying to do.
It's got to be okay, we've had a great conversation, we've connected, we've engaged, we've got on great, and here's what I'm going to do. Listen, just before you go, do you like to read? Oh yes, I do. Okay, can I give you a copy of this? Take that with you. See you next week. Have a great day. Go enjoy your coffee. That's like,
yeah, I like that.
that's the impact. Do you like to read? Yes, I do. Watch their eyes light up. And if they say no, okay, well, give it to you.
Alright then.
But it's the timing is everything.
So that's what your goal, that's your game, is that confidence to look somebody in the eye and say, I don't know.
Nice.
And thank you for asking it to me, because when I find the answer, I will be more confident, better able to serve and provide for my next customer. So every single step of the way on your journey, everybody's in business, in commerce, in sales, in customer service, whatever it be, there was never any need for the, like, oh, I'm a new starter and I don't really feel comfortable here, and what if I get asked this question and I don't quite feel confident? You can be confident in knowing what you don't know. And I'd wager if people just lived like that, with the confidence to know what they don't know, they will destroy anything that they want to do in the world. They will be so successful. Because instead of like trying to backtrack all the time and like try to kid people that they know the answers to questions that are like irrelevant, and then end up spending the next 25 years of their life trying to answer questions in a total BS way, which is what they do. They get off to a start in a role, in a job, where they've blagged an answer. And because they blagged the answer and it kind of felt all right, and it like booked the appointment, or it got the sale, or it did whatever, in the short term it's good, long run costs you big way. So for you guys and everybody on that reception desk, when somebody asks you a question, it's so important to look them in the eye, stand up, literally get your shoulders back, belt them in the eye and say, you know what, I really don't know, but I'm going to find out. Have you got a telephone number and an email address and an appropriate time to call you back today? Because I really want to serve you in the best way that I can. And this is what you have to speak like. Not necessarily this verbiage, but in this manner that says, you know what, I really want to serve you in the best possible way that I can today. And if I answer this question for you today, I'm about to start making, like, I'm not really sure. I've just started and I'm not 100% sure on the question that you're going to ask me. But what I'd like to do is speak to somebody in the organisation who knows the answer, who's been here for 10 years. And when I've got that answer for you, I'm going to pass it over to you and I'm going to help you make the best decision. How does that sound? And you know what they'll do? They'll be like, great. Great, thank you. Like, why can't the whole world just exist like this on a daily basis? They can't, because everybody's wrapped up in an attempt to not feel like, what if my boss like shouts at me for not answering the question, and what if I look silly, and what if I look stupid, and like, you know, because a kid, last time I got asked a question by my teacher and I didn't know the answer, I tried to blag it in case it looked silly, and then like I developed this pattern at 7, and I did it again at 8, and then I did it again at 9, and then I just kept doing it at 10, 11 and 12 and 13, and all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm blagging my whole life in an attempt not to look silly, because I just don't want these little like butterflies in my stomach. In a nutshell, people's lives.